Hey everyone, it's Arian here, and today I'm going to be doing some walkthrough solves on the 6x6. Okay, so let's look at inspection. I think white's easily the best option because I have 1, 2 to be paired up, and then 3, 4 like that. So I can make the 2 by 4 very easily using 4 2 by 2 blocks. So the way I do that is I do and I also have this extra kind of 3 at the end that I would keep in mind as I'm doing this. So I do a 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 1, 2, 3 to get these two. And I would do a U2. So I can preserve this, I would insert it here. And then to finish off this part, I would do this. So I'm here, U prime, D, U prime. This goes here, F2, R, U, R2. Okay, next, I want to solve this last bar. It's all in the E layer, and I want to insert it right here. So I'm going to pair this first, then that, U2, this. And now I see these two, and I see this here. So I'm going to do a U2. Before I pull down, I'm going to do a U, R prime, and this, so I can solve these three. Then this will pair up here, like that. And I notice these two like this. So I do RU to R prime, and then this can go here. I also notice this bar is done, so just something to keep in mind for the next couple centers. So I don't like the fact that this edge is here, but I think I'm going to go for the outer bar next. So I'm going to bring it down as I finish my next bar. 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. So, and then bring this down. And then this is pretty straightforward as to, I want to preserve this, but I know how to do that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to do a U prime R first, then do a D prime U2, so I get these in position. And then I know blue is next, so U prime slice, like that. This is very straightforward. You can do, and also gives me my outer bar would be next. L prime, U, and then I can finish off this bar, like that. Okay, and then here, this is a little tricky. I know that over here you'd have orange, but it's a pretty bad. I wouldn't say bad. It's just a little tricky on finger tricks. So I probably wouldn't worry about the next bar here. Do 1, 2, 3. So I'd start off with like this, like that, to get these like that, and that's how I'd finger trick it. The moves are pretty simple. They just like R prime F R2, something along those lines. But I'd recommend rewatching what moves, how to finger trick it. And then here, I would just kind of pair these. And then R prime gets me this bar as well, which is nice. And then these would be next, and these would be after that. Okay, this is a bit annoying because I have this here. So probably what I'd do is I'd first do slice, insert, slice back to get them paired up, and then we can finish them by attaching these two on there. This is pretty fun. So I have 1, 2, 3, and 4, F prime. And then instead of just pulling down like this bar, I insert this first, and then I can pull down this piece. And I might as well just do a U prime here so I go into the next bar well. And then instead of doing my regular insert, if I get this case, that's not a good case. So instead I'm going to go slice insert. It gives me a much better last bar case. Yeah, if you guys didn't catch how I did that, this case, it's like that. Next, I see a couple of options. So I see red, and I see blue, but for red and white, I see all 4 options. So I'm gonna start out with an F like that before I rotate, and then get this last piece in. And then blue and white was next. I saw the last one here, so I'm gonna rotate, and then get this like that. Z2, insert like that. I saw blue and yellow as I was doing that. I'm going to insert these. I don't see the last edge around here, so I know I'm going to have to do a Z2 rotation before I keep going. That's bad finger tricks, like that. And then I'm going to insert this last bits here. I'm going to insert it into the back. And I see these two as my next pair. Like that. I don't see the remaining, so I flip again and then insert that. Next I see these two, and the last one's here, so I'm going to rotate, insert that, U prime, and then they're back here, and this last one is here. So I was about to do an FR prime F prime FR prime F prime R, but actually this is easier to insert into the back and just solve directly from there. So I'll do that. And then here I'm kind of at a bit of a dead end as I insert this, but then I probably pause a bit just to kind of reorient myself, and then I see these two next, which would be like this. And now that I have 3 done on the bottom, I'm going to insert this last pair. So I'm going to solve this and insert it using D moves, so I don't have to look down here again. Yeah, to finish that off. These two are next, and with these two, so we can do a flip. And I before I do that, actually, I noticed that these two are there, and so I do a U2, and then I just remember that they get preserved. So I'd flip like that, and then I could do an R2, but it's a double insert. L moves. So I'd just do that. It's easier than doing U2s, I guess. And then I just reorient. Now in this case, so I have like no inner blocks made, but I see this can set up to a nice cycle, so I'm going to just quickly do these, and this sets it to a cycle. So now I can do L, U prime, L2 to move into cycle position. And with my first cycle, I don't actually want to solve anything, because then if I solve something, then I have a slice flip slice, and I prefer a cycle, so I do that to cycle. So these are now placed together, and I also am aware that these would get paired nicely. So I bring this out, pair, insert it back in, and then I actually know how from here I can predict the rest of my last 4 edges. So there's no parity. It's a pretty fun case. I know what's going to happen. So basically I'm going to cycle this in here to solve these two, and then I get the two flips. So I'm going to do that. Oops. Like that. Next I see this, put it in, and then their last two are here, like that. Okay, and then here I'm going to start off like doing that, like this. I usually wouldn't do L moves during 3x3 stage, but in that case it was pretty straightforward. So, and then next is, I guess, these two. This isn't the best case actually, but, and then do a U prime R. So I can get this, and I know this is also going to be in 2gen, and you want 2gen, as much RUF as possible on big cubes. And then I know the parity prediction for this is you do that, and then you do a parity. Like that. This is annoying, it's a double parity here. So I'd actually do a U prime, PLL parity, U, J prime. And that's it. Thanks a lot for watching. Hope you learned something.